Okay, you are talking to yourself. This is for you, Amber, to look back on and see the progress that you've made, see where you've grown, hear where you struggled, see how God has allowed you to grow. So you're not talking to other people, even if they see it one day, but this is for you. This is for you, my number one. It is officially Tuesday, January 31st. Probably about mid-January, I was thinking I've really disconnected myself from everything and low-key everyone. I don't really have a real explanation why, but with that I decided maybe it would be a good idea to just start keeping like video diaries for the year of 2023. Since I am just doing this for me in a sense, I don't have a plan, but there's so many thoughts in my mind, and it's like my brain is wanting to structure it. You know, that's a part of who I am too, so I probably will naturally do that. Really, I just want to talk about where I am at the end of the first month of 2023. Going into 2023, typically the holiday season, Christmas, New Year's, is low-key a rough time for me. Like on the outside, I love the holidays. Like I love traditions. I love being with my family. I love being at home. But something about that time of year just brings me a lot of stress, as well as like just feelings of sadness. This year was a little better in general. I've had a good feeling about 2023 as a whole. Typically for the last few years, I always make, you know, a goals list, as many people do. I don't really like vision boards because I'm not into like the pictures and stuff. I'm into structure. So I usually make a list with different categories and then different goals that I want to reach for that year. And I always have a theme for every year. But at the end of 2022, I didn't have really a theme. The goals that I have for 2022, I just was going to carry over to 2023. In different conversations with different people, in different words, I kept having this feeling that 2023 was my prep year. And in different ways, when I would talk about my hair goals, like, you know, 2023, I'm just going to be taking care of it because it's my prep year. Because what's coming next is growth, physical health, talking about my nutrition and things like that, like my plans for that. I'm like, you know, I'm prepping. January 2nd, 2023 is my prep year. I don't have a clear idea about what exactly I'm prepping for, but I know that it's something great. And then I also have a list of things that I wanted to do in 2023. Let's get into it. Let's take a break. I have read a total of count 'em, 3 books this month. I have not read a book for pleasure since middle school. Last year I was supposed to read 4 books for the entire year, and I read approximately 60 pages of one book. This year I've already read 3 books. It's been very nice and rewarding. Not only that I'm finally completing a goal that I've had for years, but that I'm actually enjoying it. My goal is to develop a clear and clean mind and body for whatever this year is prepping me for. This month has been a good start to that, but it's been interesting. I don't really have the vocabulary to really verbalize what it is that I'm feeling. I'm hoping throughout this year and throughout the time that I've spent talking that I will be able to better verbalize what I'm feeling. I'm just kind of in a weird space. Like I said before, I've kind of isolated myself from everyone. Like, I haven't texted anyone to check in on them, and I just have noticed in this month in particular, I've definitely distanced myself more than I already am. The reason I say I'm in a weird space is because everything is on paper going well. I've been working out consistently. I have been eating and eating well. I have been reading daily. I've been doing all of the things like to take care of myself, but I've just been low-key like in a stale mood. I don't know how to describe it. It's like my motivation is 0%. But I'm committed to all the things that I'm doing, and I also know that the things that I'm doing are healthy and that are good for me. I'm like isolating myself, but also doing well for myself. Even though my mood is not the best, my plan is to continue doing the things that I have been doing this month. Try to get out of this phase of isolation and start reaching out to others again, as well as continue taking care of myself. February has 28 days, so I will update again in 28 days. I think it would be easier to let me just show you how this month is going. The fact that I still have these braids in, strike one. The fact that they look like this, do I look like I'm going through it? But yes, today is February 28th. Honestly, I'm not doing so great. Overall, this month has been fine, but I just been pretty sad. Yeah. But there were a few highlights from the month, so I guess I can remind myself of those because it hasn't been all bad. Overall, been a good month. I just can't get out of this funk. Like, I don't know. One of the first highlights that I have at work, we had a lady from the Philippines. She came and shared like a traditional lunch with us. Everything was set out on a table. We had to eat with our hands. It was just a really nice experience. Like, it just reminded me and like reignited that desire that I have to travel the world and experience different cultures. Another thing that happened, okay, so I had to give someone a ride to the airport at like 3 in the morning or so. I leave my apartment about 3 and I'm going down the street, and why is it 2 horses coming towards me? I felt like the animals came down the street 2 by 2. Then I get past those 2 horses. That is my immediate like, okay, what's going on out here? Like, Noah, what's happening? Then I go down a little further down the street. It's a whole gang of them just out. No leashes. I don't know if it's their time to just casually gallop through the streets, but it had me on edge. A different day, I saw 2 horses again just out freely roaming in the roads. The horses just be outside. I finished 3 more books, so now that puts me at 6 books finished. 2023 reads, I read Little Fires Everywhere, The Crawdads Sing, Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, which, to my best friend, Sid, you told me to read this book. You said I had to read this book. We was going to read it together. Have you read it yet? Okay. All About Love, What's Mine and Yours. I just finished The Other Black Girl. I'm reading, okay? I'm expanding my vocabulary, my knowledge. I'm growing and I'm thriving. And I'm sad. Despite any of that, I am trying to remain grateful every day. Trying to remember what I am here for. Praying that going into March that we see improvements. I really hope that when I come back, when I come back, the end of this next month, March 2023, I will be able to say that I was happy, that I had joy, that I found peace more days out of the month that I did not. March 31st, 2023. Most of this month, I've been excited to finally be able to give a positive reflection, and literally yesterday made it the worst month thus far. So I'll start with the good. Like I said, this month has been a lot better them the first 2 months. Everything is the same in terms of, me being very consistent with all the things I want to accomplish. The reason this month has been better is because my mood, for the most part, been more positive. That's kind of what I was praying for this month. I definitely would say more days have been good days than not. Very thankful for that. Now, yesterday, since the beginning of this year, obviously my priority has been Henry. Everything that I'm doing has been focused around him. Yes, I've been working with the adults, with kids, like little kids who really adore me and I don't know why, but Henry has all of my attention. Like, he is my priority, and was really a big part of the reason I even came back here to begin with. From January until now, he has definitely improved in so many ways. Behaviorally, he's been learning. It's been very challenging but rewarding at the same time working with him. I just wrote in my journal the other day that I feel like God has been using me to reach a number of people, and I've been able to serve a number of people, but I truly believe he sent me here for Henry in particular. Even though he's been doing a lot better, he has still been having a lot of problems at home. There has been the concern of, if he is moved from the home that he is currently in, how can we still, be of help to him, be a resource for him, and still work with him? Because he's with the Department of Families, he's in the system. At any given time, the family he's with can always say, you know what, we don't want him anymore. More recently, it's become more of like, okay, it's more than likely going to happen like at the end of the school year. Yesterday, he did not come to school because I was told that he had an appointment of some sort. That's what I was told in the morning. I'm working with him and I'm doing my best, but I just feel like if we had more resources and more tools, we would be able to serve him more effectively. Also, I made him some like emergency contact cards to put in his wallet for just in case he got removed from his home and wanted to get in contact with us. Continue, working on my plan for him, because there's no curriculum for him. There's no structure. So everything that we do has been under, what I'm planning for him. So I'm constantly trying to figure out, okay, what I'm going to do with him for this week. This didn't work the other day, so what are we going to do this time? So I'm constantly thinking of ways to work with him. Fast forward to yesterday evening, we got a message basically saying that he had been officially removed from the home. Thank you for working with him. But that was it. I'm pretty sad about it, because I just feel like in many ways the system has really failed him. And I've been trying my best, to work with him. Right now, since yesterday until now, I've kind of just been in this limbo space, because it's like part of me doesn't want to think in a way of like, that could possibly have been the last time I saw him and the last time I worked with him. There's really nothing I can do. The reality is, it could be the case. I've put a lot of energy and effort into him, and for that to just be instantly, gone, I really don't know how to feel. I just feel kind of helpless, like there's nothing I can do, and it just doesn't really feel right. Also, yesterday he was just supposed to, be at an appointment and then be back today. But then today, to have to go back there, and it's like, he could never come back. It's like, what am I even doing here anymore? Like, yes, like I said, there's other things that I'm doing, but it's like, he was my priority. And now it's just like, that's just instantly gone. It's just crazy that what I wrote in my journal, today is Friday, I wrote that on Tuesday, basically saying that, I truly believe God sent me here for him in particular. And then also for me to make those cards for him, for just in case of a situation like this happen. I choose that day. I choose yesterday to do that. And it's literally a day too late. Like, I just saw him 2 days ago. Like, if I would have just already had him made, he would have that. Or, just thinking of all those things. I told my mom and Daryl literally as soon as I got the message. I literally felt sick immediately. He's became such a big part of my life. I see potential in him in many ways. He has a lot of anger in him, and has not experienced what love looks like, what patience looks like. That's what I've been trying to share with him. Even today, I prayed and I just asked God to give me wisdom to know if there's something more that I should try to do, and to also give me peace to know that the little time that I have had with him will stick with him and will, make his life just a little better. And when I talked to my mom, like later, she was talking about how, like, even though no one died, it's still a form of grieving. And so I'm definitely going to experience a lot of emotions and a lot of different things, to just trust that this is what is supposed to happen and to let it be. I just pray that wherever Henry is right now, that he also has peace, that he knows that he is loved. And I am grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with him. Going into April, praying for a good month, thanking him already in advance. I'm coming home. It has been a good month, okay? April, you've been good to me. It is April 30th. I am very, 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 very happy because I'm going home. This was not an easy decision. It was definitely thoroughly thought on and prayed on. But now that it is finalized and decided that I'm coming home, I am ecstatic, okay? My best friend came to visit me. It was just like perfect timing because now I'm leaving. And even though April has been a good month, it's still just been overwhelming. So it was nice when she came to have like a break. We got to meet my friends from here. I know where Henry is. Like, I speak to him every day. I meet with him for an hour every day. And that happened a day after finalizing that I was gonna come back home. And so it was just like, God's timing. Because honestly, if he wouldn't have left, I would never have made the decision to come home. The fact that he left, that was very sad, and I didn't know how to feel because we didn't know where he was. But then fast forward, I decided to go home, and then the next day we found out where he is. It's like just peace all around. One thing I'm looking forward to when I go home is not having to walk around with a broom everywhere I go, on high alert, ready to kill the first thing that comes walking in. Other than that, this month has been a great month. Thank you, God, that April has been what I needed it to be. The most important thing about this month is that you came to peace with the fact that you have completed your time in Puerto Rico. You have served in the way that God wants you to serve, but now it is your time. And I do also want to know, my mom told me something that's really helped me through this time, because I thought I was supposed to be here for 3 years, and I'm a people pleaser, and if I commit to something, I'm gonna do all the way through. I'm ready to go, and I'm at peace with leaving, but at the same time, I don't want to disappoint others. I don't want them to think of me a different way, think of me as a quitter. And my mom told me, just because something isn't finished doesn't mean that your work or your assignment is not done. Yes, there's still work that can be done here, but my assignment is done. Yay! I am so happy. Man, wow. I just started thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, it's May 31st. It's been the happiest month, and I literally leave to go home next week. Only 6 more sleeps, okay? 6 more sleeps. And then I'm gonna wake up, hand my keys in, and hop on the plane. Also, let me just say, I think I decided that I'm gonna just start talking to you like a friend. Like, I'm gonna just look at you, you gonna look at me, and we're gonna be friends. I don't know why it's so hard for me to be myself in front of the camera, but if I refer to you as my friend, then I can talk to you like my friend. The happiest day of my life was when Daryl graduated. Well, hold on, let me... The happiest day in a long time. Honestly, I just felt a lot of joy that day. It was crazy because I experienced the worst migraine ever. All his family was there. I just would put on a brave face, but I was going through it. Never experienced pain like that, and I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. And that was a crazy weekend because it was super hectic, but I was just so glad that I was able to go home. I was extremely exhausted, but it was definitely worth it. I went to a chocolate farm or cacao. The people there were so sweet. It was a super cool experience. I loved like being able to taste the different stages of the process. That was a family business, and it was like the lady that was there, her and her husband are the ones that took care of that farm, and she like does all of that work. It's very impressive compared to like a bigger company like Hershey, where they have, you know, the factory and that sort of thing. I finished work at the school officially. Had my last day with the kids, the little kids. I don't necessarily know why, but those little kids, they loved me. One of the kids, they were like, promise that you'll come back again. And I was like, oh, I can't promise that. Then he was like, so I'll never see you again. And I was like, oh. But it was nice to definitely close those chapters. My other job, the interpreting job that I started last August, it's kind of been a little annoying. I'm not going to be able to transfer that to work from home. But honestly, I think that's a blessing in disguise, because now I'm going into this next stage. This is the first time that I'm going into a chapter where, yes, I have an idea of what I want to do, what I'm going to do, but I don't know how it's going to look. It's kind of freeing in a sense, because I've never had this before. And since before high school, I've had everything planned out ahead of time. And so I kind of want to take advantage of this time to just be, you know. My mom, of course, she knows everything, and she said that she tells anyone that's going from one job to the next, one chapter to the next, it's always good to take time to just be still and just to reflect on what experience you just went through, whether it was a good experience, whether a bad experience, whether a mix of both. It's always good to take time to reflect on that experience. So my plan is to take the summer off, June and July, and just be still and try not to obsess too much about what's next. I'm always so far ahead that I don't realize that I'm not really truly living in the moment. And so I'm gonna be more mindful about where my priorities are at this summer and making sure that they remain in the moment. I have officially finished 18 books. 18 books, and it's May. Good morning. It's July 1st. Yesterday was June 30th. Me and Daryl drove to Chicago, and now we are currently on the way to Indiana for my friend's wedding. This is my first wedding in a long time. I know it's gonna be a beautiful ceremony. I've been home for a month now. It has been the greatest thing ever. I guess the only bad thing, I didn't get to say goodbye to everyone. Still very happy to be back at home. It's been a great month. I've been spending a lot of time with Kennedy. We have been baking together. We're cooking different things together. She likes to cook, and we're pretty sure she's gonna want to be a chef when she grows up. So Daryl had his graduation party. That was like when I first got back, and so that's my first time seeing a lot of people back at home, and I was just very happy. I spent a lot of time in the house, but I'm not mad about it, because I'm trying to take advantage of having nothing to do. Looking forward to enjoying the rest of the summer.
This is Molly Perkins, Texas Tech. I'm not never tasting nothing else. He loved the Lord, because if he didn't love the Lord, I am in trouble. He was in my mouth, and I'm gonna be in trouble if he didn't love the Lord.
Amber.
You think I'll be okay even if he didn't love the Lord?
You'll be fine. Look, open your eyes.
I got a potty mouth.
I know.
Why would somebody smoke week. And they know that this is the result. Cardamom?
Amber.
That's not fun. I don't want cardamom. Oh, you can't even swallow. What you smoking for?
Amber.
He came in the room and he asked me, did I have breakfast? You know I didn't have breakfast. They told me I can't eat or drink. Why ask me if I had breakfast?
Amber.
It doesn't make sense. They set me on that tray. They put it on me.
Amber.
They wanted to take me away.
Do is hold on. All you gotta do is hold on, just hold on. All you gotta do is hold on.